Goosebumps, it's Tanyabeautiful here, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back again with another video, and today's video is going to be a story time. But you guys, before we get into this video, be sure to click that subscribe button down below and also turn on your notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a brand new video. With that being said, let's just get into it. Ooh, I'm a little bit out of breath, honey, because I'm out of breath. I was doing some stuff. Good. And today's story time is going to be about the time a boyfriend from my past got a woman pregnant and also married her, okay? Now, this story is going to be a little bit messy, and I'm just tired of protecting people. I'm tired of holding in these things. I just want to talk about it. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Grab you a drink, honey. Grab you some popcorn, whatever you want to grab, honey, because we're going to get into this story. And this some tea right here. This ain't no tea, but the story is some tea, okay? Basically, this story starts off, I was about 16 years old. Now, when this person did this to me, I wasn't 16 when this happened, but I'm just trying to give y'all like a backstory. So I met this person when I was about 16, and honestly, I didn't like him at first. You know how you meet guys, you don't know if you like them yet. So when I met him, I didn't really like him like that. Basically, I was just like, okay, met him, said hi, whatever. On top of that, I was 16, and around this time, I had the lowest self-esteem ever. In junior high school, I was teased a lot. I went through a lot of things, like being teased about my weight, being teased about my skin, because my skin was bumpy and things like that. So I had very low self-esteem. So I didn't think anybody liked me anyway. So when I met him, I was just kind of like, hey, whatever. Some time passes and I get invited to Coney Island. I'm not gonna say who invited me there, bitch. Not gonna say, but I get invited to Coney Island. We travel there, whatever, we get there, and I leave Coney Island, and now I have a boyfriend. According to this person, I found out later on that he liked me when he met me. However, the feeling wasn't mutual. I didn't like him when I met him. I only, I guess, gained interest because he had interest in me, because I had low self-esteem. I didn't think I was cute. Nobody could have told me that I would have been a bad bitch, okay, or that I was ever cute or anything like that, because I just had the lowest self-esteem ever. So anyways, I leave Coney Island and now I got a boyfriend. We ain't doing nothing, we wasn't doing nothing, but a long time passed. Basically, he was my first for everything, okay? I'm just gonna say it like that. He was my first for everything. I did not jump into doing anything with this person or want to do anything with this person right away, but he was my first for everything. Eventually, he ended up being my first for everything. I'm just gonna put it like that. Cut 2 years later, some time passes. There were some issues that happened before. There were some unresolved issues that I was particularly blamed for, so I guess this was the reason for this person's actions. However, I didn't really think that. So cut to now, some years later. During that whole time, throughout those years, I'm still trying to see this person. My mom had me on lockdown. I couldn't go nowhere. I couldn't do shit. And if it's one thing that I appreciate her for, no matter what, is making sure that I was home. Because back then, I didn't appreciate that, but now I can as an adult, because now I understand why she kept my ass in the crib. You understand what I'm saying? I should have stayed in the crib, but I did stay in the crib, but now I understand why. I couldn't really see him the way he wanted me to see him, right? So I would leave school early to go see him. Now, y'all, I know it was wrong. Obviously, it's wrong to go meet a boy, but who didn't? You know what I'm saying? Who didn't do that? I was in high school. There was classes that was like, there was PE, and sometimes certain classes went for 3 periods and stuff like that. So sometimes I left early and I went to go see him. I would always just go out my way to try to go see him, even if I had to be dishonest and do things like that. Y'all, I got a daughter, okay? And I'm real as hell. And I know what my mom was trying to protect me from, and now that I have a kid, I understand, because when Kailani reached teenage years, bitch, I'm gonna be outside school. I'm gonna be pulling up. I'm gonna watch her walk. And when she get to the house, I'm gonna pull up on her like, hey, come in the car. I was just coming from the supermarket. Just come here, let me give you a ride. But who that nigga? Who he? I'm gonna be on her. I left school early sometimes to go see him. There was always complaints. I can't see you, blah, 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 this and that and third. I could not go see this person. Like, I'm on lockdown. I'm young enough to have to listen to my mom. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he liked that. I think he wanted one of them girls that he could find in the clubs, one of them girls that he could find wherever, or one of them girls that, you know, he could benefit from, or whatever the case may be. I don't know, but I wasn't his type at the time, okay? There was a lot of back and forth. I couldn't go see him. He couldn't see me all the time. And it wasn't that it was all the time. It was just, I think he got tired of just me not being able to see him when he wanted me to see him. A lot of guys are like that. Like, if they want you to come see them and you can't come see them, they mad. They in their feelings. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it stemmed from that. So I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. It is what it is. I still cared for him. I still loved this person no matter what. Loving him more than I love myself because I accepted a lot of things. And I also noticed signs when we would hang out that, like, if I was in my phone, I noticed he would be looking or trying to see, but like, I've never seen his phone. I've never physically held his phone in my hand. I've never seen it, never like going in it, nothing. You know what I'm saying? But when I have mines, usually that is obviously, one, because we were kind of young, and two, you know, I feel like when guys or when anybody is guilty of their own shit, they start to accuse the innocent person because they know what they're capable of and they're afraid that you're going to do that to them. He was insecure, definitely, because he knew what he was doing. I also noticed that he didn't appreciate the fact that I would leave school early. He didn't appreciate the fact that I would make up things so that I could come and see him or come and hang out with him. I just felt like there was no appreciation. What bitch you know gonna hop on the train for an hour or 2 hours in transit to come and see you? You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no appreciation there. So I knew that there was something going on. And then later on, like way years later, before I had my daughter, me and him had a conversation, and I found out also that, no, after I had my daughter, we had a conversation, and I found out after that his friends used to actually talk shit about me, you know, about my skin and things like that. So in my mind, I'm like, you know what? Okay, it is what it is. Obviously, thinking from back then and then thinking to what he told me a couple years ago from today, I put them together and I realized, obviously, I couldn't come and see you often. Your friend them dogging me, they clowning me. So obviously, you're gonna do what you want to do because you feel like, okay, this ain't nobody checking for her like that anyway, and I can't be checking for a girl that my friends is dissing and that don't come and see me that often, or when I ask her to, you know what I'm saying? And he kind of has that mindset of like, I'm a man, you're a woman, so I could do what I want, but you can't do what you want. So I already knew, like, I put it together, I put everything together, and that's why I'm doing this story time, because I'm like, now I have sense, and now that I could put it together, I understand what the hell happened. Around those times, like I said, he would look at my phone, whatever, and I would notice it, but I wouldn't say nothing about it because it wasn't a big deal. However, I did notice I would never see his shit. So I'm just kind of like, okay, I never see your shit. Why is it that you always in my shit? He invites me to a party. I obviously can't go, and I feel like that kind of was his last straw, although he shouldn't have no last straws, because to be honest with you, I'd rather a girl that listens to her mom than a girl that just does whatever she wants. I think at this point he felt like he couldn't benefit from me, and also he had some resentment towards me, which he admitted a couple years ago. Like I said, we had a conversation, but it was a conversation to kind of just figure shit out, like why certain things happened the way that they did, and there was some resentment that he had towards me. So he did what he wanted to do regardless, because he didn't care. He also was using the fact that we were long distance, that he thought I was doing something, even though he knows that I'm in a strict household. It wasn't like, oh, don't watch TV, but it was like, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And my mom didn't want me to get pregnant, so she was just strict on me. It's not like she thought I was gonna go out and have sex, but she was afraid of that. So I was on lockdown, okay? I tell him, okay, I'm gonna try to come, and then eventually I can't go, right? So we get into an argument. He's like, oh, I was waiting on you, blah, 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 and you couldn't come and see me. Now, in my mind, I'm just like, you know what? I don't think it's a big deal, because you don't act like a boyfriend anyway. Off of the strength that I love you, I still tried to make an effort, and I still always came to you no matter what. Always tried and made an effort. And you really talking to me like some ungrateful ass piece of shit right now. You know what I'm saying? So eventually we go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And finally he texts me and he's like, it's over. So I'm like, okay, you know, it is what it is. I didn't cry at first because, to be honest with you, I was already mad. So in my head, I'm like, okay, if it's done, it's done. Like, I love you, yes, but I'm not gonna kiss your ass. I'm not gonna be like, oh, please don't leave me. Like, bitch, I didn't really take it to heart that way. Well, wait, there's more. A couple of days passed, and I have Facebook, right? And you know how you have, like, you can get like suggested friends. Around this time, Facebook had just kind of came out in a way, and I had it for a little while already. And I get like the suggested friends. Before this, I didn't have him on Facebook. I didn't have him on any social media site. I go on Facebook and I see a suggested friend, and it's him. But along with him, there is a picture of him and a girl. And the status on the profile says married. And when I look at all the pictures and I go back to all those pictures, he was talking to this female pretty much majority of the time that we were speaking. I think me and him were probably talking for about a year before he started dealing with other people. And in my stupid head, I'm sacrificing schoolwork, sacrificing getting caught leaving school, sacrificing coming home late to my mom, sacrificing all these things so I could go and see him. And right there, when I saw all those pictures and all the dates and everything, it just clicked. And I was like, you piece of shit. So I get on my phone and I'm like, I'm texting him now. Now I'm mad. Now the tears is ready, because I'm like, this guy curse me out every time I can't see him, or get mad at me every time I can't see him, holding grudges against me for no reason. And you know you out here doing what you want to do anyway, but yet still you want to blame me and make it seem like it's my fault that you feel the way that you feel, or that it's my fault that you doing what you doing. So I texted him. I was like, you know what? I know why you broke up with me. You feel me? And it's all right. You married or whatever. You doing your thing. But you should have just kept it real with me instead of just telling me, oh, it's over, or trying to blame me for everything. Because really and truly, it was not 100% my fault. If I can't go nowhere because that's my mom and I live with my mom, do you want me to live on the streets? Do you want me to get sent away? Nigga, you're gonna have to do something. You know what I'm saying? You can't just expect me to disobey my parent because you want to see me. It is what it is. At least I tried. You know what I'm saying? And it was always me trying. Always, always, always. Only one time has he ever hopped on the train and came all the way that hour or 2 hours to come and see me. And that shit just pissed me off. So he goes, oh, no, that's not why, this, that, and the third. And I'm sorry. I apologize. I really do love you. But I had to do what I had to do. I had to get my shit together, blah, 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 blah. I started crying. I was crying like I lost somebody. I was crying like somebody died, you guys. I was in tears and I couldn't bring myself together. I couldn't bring myself to stop crying. I was so hurt because I couldn't believe that this is what he put me through. I couldn't believe that I was that innocent girl who loved somebody so much and was willing to do so much that got played. After him, pretty much the next relationship suffered because of him. You understand what I'm saying? Because in my mind, every guy is him. Every guy is like him, and every guy is gonna be like him. And I wasn't taking the shits. I'm like, I'm either gonna hurt you before you hurt me, or I'm gonna walk away before you get the fucking chance. Because I'm not doing it with nobody. So I had trust issues. Along with that, my father wasn't in my life like that. So of course I didn't trust men. He was the first example. Then you got this dude coming in, doing what he doing. So I was messed up. You hear me? Oh, you guys. The crazy thing is, he didn't know that I knew this, but he's married and he had a baby. Before finding out that he was married and had a child, I had seen him one last time. Before that party that I was supposed to go to, where he broke up with me because I didn't come, right? And I don't think it was just about the party. I think it was because he knew what he was doing, so he had to do what he had to do. Before that party, I had went to meet him at another party before that. And I remember us walking and talking, and for some reason, something came up about marriage. and kids. And I told him that I wouldn't accept a guy having a baby with somebody else. At that point, it would have to be a done deal. If somebody's gonna marry somebody for help, then that's one thing. But to have a child with somebody, that's something else. And I told him, like, I wouldn't accept that. I felt like that would be adding insult to injury. It kind of made sense. The conversation came up. He knew I wouldn't go for it. So he broke up with me before I got a chance to find out. I find out after he breaks up with me. And then once I find out, now he's telling me I love you. You understand what I'm saying? Just to show you how disgusting some men are. I'm crying, I'm devastated, and I was looking on there for a while. And I looked through some pictures and I see him holding a baby. And I see him with this baby. And in my mind, I'm like, this guy had a kid too. But he didn't tell me that part. He didn't tell me that part. So I found out he had a kid too. Y'all, that right there, that for me was the last straw. You know, knowing that he had a kid and he wasn't telling me that part. You calling me and telling me that you love me and you apologize and you're sorry and this, that, and the third. And you're only doing this because you have to do what you have to do. But the fact that he wasn't telling me the whole truth, I was done with him. I was done with him. I was like, I'm done with you. Like, I'm done with this nigga. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and keep being no fucking clown for this guy. Like, I'm sitting here sacrificing my safety. I'm on a train at night coming to see you. You're not even meeting me halfway. And you got the nerve to be doing what you're doing and then be cursing me out because you're fucked up, because you know you wrong and you know what you're doing. So I was done with him. I was done, you guys. I was done. I couldn't do it no more. I was done. And that's how I ended up with my daughter's father. Just a funny story though. I end up with my daughter's father and he contacts me and we exchange words and I let him know, you know, I have a kid. And tell me why he was mad. I told him about how I cheated. How did I cheat? I left you, sweetheart. I left you. I didn't want you anymore. You played me like a clown, okay? Not to mention, after finding out he was married, I got a call from another female who found my number in his phone, who was also pregnant for him at the time. Y'all, but I didn't know she was pregnant until like years later. I found out way after. But you guys, not only did I find out he was married, and then some time passed and I found that he had a baby with this person that he was married to. Okay? I get a call about some months later, okay, after finding out, from another female who was actually pregnant at the same freaking time, you guys. I didn't know she was pregnant, but she was. And she called me. Okay? And just in my mind, I couldn't fathom how a person could be so cruel, how a person could do so much. And I understand that people grow, people change, people become different. But I always believed if you don't want something done unto you, don't do it to other people. As a human being, I couldn't bring myself to not only sleep with somebody else, marry somebody else and have a child with them, but then also be brave enough to be angry at them because they couldn't see me because their mother or their parent was strict on them. You know? So it was like blow after blow after blow. I gave up and I ended up with my daughter's father. That didn't work out because of my previous situation. I didn't trust anybody. I didn't care for anybody. And I don't think I really loved anybody because I was too busy not loving myself. I was too busy angry with myself because I'm thinking like, how could you accept that? And how could you allow that and make that happen to you? The relationship after him, it didn't last. It couldn't last because he sabotaged me in a way, you know? And I can't even say the other things that he's done, but he sabotaged me in a way. And he put me in a position to where I ended up miserable, and he ended up still living his life. You guys, when I think about this, sometimes it makes me almost emotional, but I ain't gonna cry. Bitch ain't gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry because I moved on from that situation, learning that I was worth more. And I moved on from my daughter's father situation, knowing that every guy is not the same. However, every guy is gonna have their faults, right? And I wasn't perfect. My daughter's father wasn't perfect. He did things he wasn't supposed to do. I did things I wasn't supposed to do. However, I was already hurt. And thinking back now, I wouldn't have gotten into a relationship with my daughter's father because I was broken already. Here goes a girl who grows up in a household where there's certain things going on that she's not happy about. Then to also not have her father in her life. Then to also meet a guy who is angry at her for no reason, does her bad, and then jumps into a relationship with somebody who never really experienced a love like mine. If I knew then what I know now, I would have never dated my daughter's father, because I went into that with scars already. And nobody could have told me that all men weren't the same. So I didn't care. He also did things before that kind of made me kind of be like, okay, you know what? You probably gonna end up just like this, so I'm not even gonna waste my time. We both had faults, but I was already wounded, so I shouldn't have went into another relationship. I guess the reason why I'm doing this story time is because I want you guys to understand something. Sometimes us as women, we end up loving people or men more than we love ourselves. And the most toxic thing you can do to your heart is put someone else in that spot before you put yourself. And I feel like if I loved myself enough at that time, I wouldn't have accepted it. I wouldn't have endured it. But because I didn't love myself, and because I didn't accept myself, I allowed whatever treatment anybody gave me to happen. There is no telling what can happen. There is no telling what he'll do or what you'll do. And I just wish I knew then what I know now, so that I could have either walked away from his situation without a problem, or not dealt with my daughter's father. You cannot go into a relationship expecting to be healed. I didn't expect to be healed, but I thought I would be healed being with someone else, and I didn't get that. You understand what I'm saying? I was still broken. How am I gonna make somebody whole? I'm still working on myself. I'm still not happy with myself, and I'm still broken from the situation. So I would have to tell every girl, okay, all of y'all that's watching my video, girls and boys, never love somebody more than you love yourself, to a point that you would accept anything that they give you. You have standards. You are special. You are important. And you don't need validation from anybody. Only validation that you need comes from within. If I could talk to myself then, I would tell myself, hell no, you deserve more. And when you have low self-esteem, you don't think you deserve anymore. You just think, he likes me, he loves me, so I'm just gonna take it. No. No. And when I think back on it, and I just think about shit, it hurts my feelings. It makes me feel bad because I have a daughter and I don't want her to ever have to go through the heartbreak that I've endured. However, I know there's no way of me protecting her from it because life has to happen, right? Things have to happen. People have to go through things in order to learn or to grow from. So, y'all just focus on school, focus on your careers, focus on you. Make sure you're happy. Make sure you're not loving somebody more than you love yourself if it ain't your kid. If you're already broken, don't get into a situation with anybody because you might end up hurting them. Not saying that they're not capable of hurting you because people hurt broken people, obviously. And it makes that broken person even worse. So, if you know that you're not ready, don't jump into a new relationship. Take that time to work on yourself. Take that time to make yourself happy. And when you feel like you're ready, then you can go ahead. If you are in a toxic situation, walk away. Because, to be honest with you, in the end, they're going to always say, oh, I love you and I want to be with you and I'm going to leave this person for you. To be honest with you, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Eventually, 10 years later, you're still going to be without him while he's still living his life. So enjoy your life. Do what you want to do. Be with who you want to be with. Enjoy. Don't worry about these niggas, man. Don't worry about them. If they're not making you happy, don't waste your time on them. Don't let them waste your time. Put your foot down and have the strength to walk away. And that's all I can really say. If you guys enjoyed this story time, please let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know if you've ever been in a situation like this. I would love to hear your story. That's it for the story time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.